What's up, all you awesome gamers? I'm the Governor, and this is the Console Corner Podcast, your #1 source for all things gaming. If this is your first time listening to the show, we dive deep into the gaming industry news, games, and everything in between. We even hook you up with some of the best gaming deals around with Foxy Deals, and we'll catch that later in the show. Tonight is going to be a great show, lots of juicy topics to talk about. But first, let's But first, let's introduce the rest of our hosts on the Console Corner. First up, we have the lovely SheWulf.
Hey, guys.
Next up, always energetic and always lovely as well, Lady Foxfire.
Hola.
Next, we have Mr. Newf Nukem.
Maybe?
Maybe. Newf?
Hello?
Nah, he's done.
Okay.
Hey, Newf.
And last but certainly not least, Mr. Magic Mike.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
All right, if you're listening to us live or listening to us later on our favorite podcast site, drop us your questions in the chat or in the comments below. We answer a few of them every week. We now also have the Console Corner Podcast in MP3 format on most of the top podcasting sites like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Libsyn, Google Play Music, and Spotify coming soon this week. Well, there you go. Oh, my God, I can't even talk today.
No, apparently you can't.
While you go ahead and check out all those podcast sites, why don't you go ahead and rate us and subscribe and all that really cool stuff. It does help us out. Make sure you're subscribed and following all these cool people so you can stay up to date with whatever we're duping. All the links are in the description below. Also, if you want to help out the show, we have a donation link where every cent goes back into the show to make it the best it possibly can. All right, let's go ahead and get into the favorite topic I love talking about. And I could already tell you that I'm going to talk a lot about Diablo 3.
Spoilers.
And that's what everybody's been playing this week. Let's go ahead and start with Fox. What you been up to?
Oh, hi. Okay, so I've been gaming here and there, especially with my sis. So obviously we played some Destiny, so that was fun. And obviously right after that, if you saw the stream yesterday, we moved on to some Titanfall. So yeah, Titanfall 1 and 2, we played some of that. I've been rocking some Forza 6 on the side because I'm looking forward to 7. And I played some of that Ninja Pizza Ho.
Oh, yeah, I played that too.
Ninja Pizza
Yeah.
Ho?
Yep, Ninja Pizza Ho. It's a little joke between friends and I. So yeah, that's what I call it. And I actually really like it. I got a lot of Chibos on it yesterday. It was really fun.
Sweet. What about you, Magic Mike?
Well, I finished up Doom, did another playthrough on that, which I was so happy about. I completely forgot that the first time I played through it, I didn't beat the Spider Mastermind at the end because I completely screwed up my ammo management before going into that fight. So I was really surprised when I got the achievement there. I was like, all right, so happy to get that achievement now, finally. And after going through that, I started playing Wolfenstein: The New Order, getting hyped for that sequel that we saw at E3. So getting back into that one, just to get my first-person shooter on this week. That's what I've been doing.
Nice. What about you, Newf? What you been playing, bro?
Hey, been taking out people in that Third Reich-ish, playing the Wolfenstein. Still trying to get through that game. Also playing some Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. Fantastic game, guys. If you've never played it, make sure you pick it up. And it is on sale right now, but Foxy will probably explain that a little bit later on in the show. I'm playing a variety of things, still trying to plug through my backlog.
Nice. What about you, SheWulf?
I've been playing some Diablo 3, the new DLC.
Yeah, you damn right you were.
I was, yes. I was also playing, as Fox said, Titanfall 2. We played Titanfall 1. We played Destiny. I was also playing Perception, which you can see a review coming to that from that soon, which was interesting. I also was playing Black Desert Online, which that is a review on the channel, and that was actually a really good game, a really good MMO. And then, yeah, that's about it that I've been playing this week.
Cool. Let's see. We played some, what was it, Dead by Daylight when we were streaming that night?
Yeah, I forgot Dead by Daylight.
I enjoyed that game. That was a good time. I've been playing some Diablo 3. SheWulf and I already got level 70 Necros. Can't wait to get back to that after the show. Stay tuned. We're probably going to be streaming that tonight, too, for everyone out there listening to us. What else have I been playing? I think that's it. Oh, I played some Wolfenstein, too. I'm trying to get through the old blood. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. So, cool. Let's go ahead and get on to the first topic of the night. Games with gold for July. Oh, man. Oh man.
Why are you saying oh man? Like one of them, like right off the bat, is like tune in, which or turn up or whatever. It's like that robot.
Grow
game.
up? You mean?
Grow up. It's a robot game.
All right, so here let's see.
The whole version.
So we got Grow Up,
Okay.
Run Bow, Kane and Lynch 2, and Pirates of the Caribbean Lego. That's gonna be coming out in July.
So Grown Up is actually a pretty decent indie game.
Yes.
Brutal did it before on, I
Indie
believe, an
Discussion, I
indie
think.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, that game is actually kind of cool that we're getting that free. So, Pirates of the Caribbean Lego. Everyone loves Lego games.
So besides Pirates of the Caribbean Lego, it's a bunch of shit. Honestly.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, I'll give you a plus. For me, I don't have any of these games, so that's pretty cool.
I guess that's fair.
So
yeah, absolutely.
I get to add more games to my library. Why not?
I think there's a lot of people that don't have these games already, so that is a huge plus for a lot of people out there. And another plus is I get to keep chipping away at the backlog because I don't really feel the need to get into any of these games with gold, so that's a good plus for me.
None of these games are like calling out to me right now.
You know what?
Which was that second one that you mentioned?
Runbow?
Yeah, that's interesting because it messes with colors, so it reminds me of Hue actually.
Oh, you know what? I gotta talk some shit about Major Nelson because he did.
Okay.
He did the games with gold thing, right? And he was announcing on it, and he's like, "This game has never done anything, or no game's ever done things like with color like this before." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not see Hue? Hue is a fantastic game that does the same thing."
Right.
Major Nelson, bro.
I need to see that post. Because I'm going to reply.
It's a video.
It's a video. It's his video where he does the games.
It's on YouTube. It's a video.
Yeah.
He says it. You're right. I didn't even catch that. I was just kind of like, oh, it's like you. That's all I thought. I was kind of like not paying attention to all the words that he was saying, but now I'm like, he don't know his shit, I guess.
Yeah, we had the developer on the interview and everything. Don't worry, bro. We're taking care of you. We got that. We're gonna take care of Major Nelson.
Mr. Henry Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Newf. Sorry, man.
I was just going to say, my 2 cents worth on it. It's not the most stellar month, but it's not as bad as people make it seem.
Nah,
I mean, I played most of those games. Kane and Lynch is actually underappreciated. It was actually pretty fun. Plus, it's one of some of the rare co-op games you can enjoy with your friends. So it's actually not that bad. And as well as the Lego games, you really can't go wrong. Pirates of the Caribbean. I used to own both of those games on the 360. I don't have them anymore, so it's a chance for me to catch up and dive into them later on, of course, in the backlog, because I never did finish either one. As far as the other two on the Xbox One, I've never played either game. I'm actually looking forward to them. Again, like, it's not the way we look at games with gold is always going to be very subjective, because what is one man's treasure is another man's trash. Some people might be going, yeah, and other people are like, oh. But at the same time, I will say that usually even on the off months that Xbox has, it's usually still better than a lot of the months over in the PlayStation Plus, with the exception of like this last month on PlayStation Plus, which was stellar with Killing Floor 2 and
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Hell yeah.
And Life is
Strange. See that one first, bro.
Two amazing games in 1 month. Yeah, I'm actually playing Life is Strange. I'm heading on to chapter 2 right now. I'm actually enjoying it. It's quite good. But yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say. I think it's not bad. It's not quite what we expected, but I also think that Microsoft will come back strong in August. At least we can hope.
Has anybody ever noticed that whenever PlayStation has a really strong month for their PlayStation Plus lineup, the games with gold lineup seems to be a little lackluster, that they balance each other out that way?
Yeah, it is
like when
weird.
games with gold is really strong, the PlayStation Plus lineup is kind of like meh.
Yeah,
so it's really weird.
Like, they'll both have like good months too, and then they'll kind of like off each other. Like, yeah, it's weird. I've noticed that too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they got to one up each other and then they take a break.
I mean, free games, like we always say, like every time we talk about this, they're always good. Well, technically free with your Xbox Live membership. But yeah,
you know what I'd love to know? I'd love to know how they actually, for both companies, how they pick the games. Like who decides? Is there a certain criterion they have to fall under? Obviously, some of the 360 stuff has to meet the backwards compatibility stuff. You notice that a lot of times when they become on the backwards compatible list, they end up being like free, like close to or around that time. So like, it's a really good question. Like, I'd love to know how they get picked. Do they hit a certain sales number? Or is it a game that's kind of become stagnant on the store and they think that by giving it away free, it starts to maybe generate some interest, maybe get some DLC sales going, that sort of thing? Like, it's a really good question. Hopefully somebody can find us the answer someday.
like when you were talking, I was just thinking of like you go to the carnival and there's like those balloons that are on the wall and you're just throwing darts at it. And I'm just like, I'm seeing like Phil Spencer or like Mikey Barr and all them just like throwing darts at a wall and be like, yeah, that's the games. It's cool. You know?
They borrow the Wheel of Wonder off M&C
Right,
Mornings
there
and
you
they're
go.
just
That's what I was thinking.
Thanks, Mooch and Crap.
It does make you wonder though, like Newf makes a really good point though. Like, how do they pick all of these? Do the developers themselves come to them and say, "Hey, we want to put them in this," and they have a list, so they just choose from the list, or is it literally they just go to the devs and then they ask their permission, kind of thing? Like, it's kind of curious how that whole thing happens. But at the same time, they're really not free games, because if you don't have games with gold. Or, yeah, if you don't have Xbox Live, you literally can't play those games. Like, you can't touch them anymore. So, either way, you're still kind of paying for them, but at the same time,
But if you're on Xbox, if you're, like, playing on Xbox, like, why would you not have Xbox Live, you know?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I know. I'm just saying that.
What are
Yeah,
you
I
doing
agree
with
with
your
you.
life?
I agree with you. I mean, Xbox Live is fantastic. I love the service.
Your power goes out, guess what? You ain't playing those games.
I'm playing no games.
Well, no, I thought, well, I mean,
I'm
like...
grabbing my Switch and being
No,
like, yeah.
okay, your internet. Fine, sorry, your internet. If your internet goes out, you're not playing. Sorry, my bad. I, like...
That's when a roll of toilet paper becomes
leave
your
it
best
to you
friend.
to, like...
What are you talking? I play Game Boy. I don't know about y'all. I take it old school.
I've been grabbing the Switch. Yo, I've been playing a lot of the Switch, actually. I forgot to talk about that. I was playing Mario Kart and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
you...
Can't
Actually-
go back now. Too late.
I know.
Hey,
Shut up.
did you pick up ARMS yet?
It's coming.
It's on its way. It is
Yeah.
on its way.
Nice.
Gamefly it.
Yeah, we had to gamefly it.
and see how it's going. But cool.
Their
hope the
games
kids
are
love
too
it.
expensive just to buy. Like $59 for like...
Yeah, that's the thing about with
game that-
ARMS is like it doesn't
True.
have everything like campaign and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of hard to say $60.
Well,
I know where
even
you're
Mario
going, like-
Kart doesn't. You literally...
Well,
like,
Mario Kart's more of a.
No, I know, but if you're not going to sit there and have people to play with, or you're constantly not
Yo, I'll
playing
play Mario
with
Kart by
somebody...
myself all the time. It's a good time.
No, you don't. You
I was just
literally
doing it
played it
last
once. One time
I
doesn't
played
count.
it like 4.
One time doesn't count. Like, literally one time doesn't count. The kids played it more than
on
you
a
did.
haterade today.
No haterade. Just the truth.
All right, so let's get back to the topics. Let's go ahead and go into some more Nintendo since we're on the subject of Nintendo already. Nintendo shortages are not intentional. So I want to go ahead and read the official thing from Nintendo. In an interview with Ars Technica, Charlie Shibata, I don't even know his name, Nintendo of America's Senior Director of Corporate Communications, it's definitely not intentional in terms of shortening the market. We're making it as fast as we can. We can't get as many units out as we can to support all the software that's coming out right now. Our job really is to get it out as quick as we can, especially for this holiday because you need those units on the shelf to support Super Mario Brothers. I mean, I kind of believe him. I think, like, Nintendo is historically, like, one that does this, like, yeah, we got shortages, guys, and blah, 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 blah. They've done this for quite a time. So it's kind of hard to get on the Nintendo train and being like, yeah, you probably are doing it, but you're really not, kind of thing. I really do believe that they're not. But go ahead.
I can believe that they're not, causing shortages on purpose. They're not trying to create that false demand. I know we've said that before, that it's like false demand because they have lower inventory and stuff like that. But I mean, really, Nintendo is a popular platform. Everybody loves Nintendo if you're a gamer in one way or another. I mean, some people may absolutely hate it, but the majority of gamers love Nintendo in some way. And I think if Nintendo isn't intentionally creating a shortage, then they really, really are just not... they don't have their expectations in the right place. They must be underestimating how popular they are.
Well, there's also
This
reports.
is why you're both wrong. So first off,
Okay.
their whole shortage thing for the like NES Classic. Well, clearly they
No,
still
that was like intentional. I agree.
Clearly, they still have the motive to be able to put out now the SNES.
Well, according to them,
Mini.
they don't have the resources to do that.
Well, no, I was going to bring that up. The NES Mini. The only thing that I have a problem with is that they discontinued it when it was still selling out.
Oh, yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
discontinue a product when it's still selling on store shelves.
Agreed.
That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because apparently
Agreed.
they couldn't
Here's the
produce
thing-
anymore. But you were able to produce these new ones. Like that makes no sense.
Well, here's the thing too, like with the Switch, because I've researched this, and like there's reports that the iPhone and stuff is also using similar components and or a couple of the same ones that actually the Switch is using. So they're kind of like fighting back and forth for components to make the new iPhone and the Switches. And like Nintendo lost the last MP. Well, they came in second. They didn't really lose, but I feel like if they did have all those units out there, they definitely probably would have been #1 in MPDs for consoles.
Yeah.
sold,
Yeah,
for sure.
probably. But this is the thing that I questioned when he was in that interview. He says that they didn't expect it, that they weren't anticipating how well it was going to do, and I call bullshit on that because it's Nintendo. You should know
Yes, I agree
your
with that.
product, especially in the beginning, is going to fly off the shelves. I think they should have been prepared from the get-go, and then later on, like reduce how much they're making at a time or whatever the case may be. They should have been ready from the get. They should have even hired extra hands if they had to, create more jobs. Why not? So in a way, I call bullshit on most of what he said because of that, because you're Nintendo, because people are going to buy your product straight up from the beginning. And then later on, it dies down a little bit, obviously, with the Wii U.
Can't
That
argue
was
with that.
completely dead. But yeah.
Wow.
See, I
Can you imagine how angry people would be if Nintendo actually admitted and told the truth and said,
Ah, that's true,
we basically, we did strain the supply strain so we can keep the demand extraordinarily high, which, makes our product a thing to get. You know what I mean? It's almost like advertising without having to go out and pay the big bucks. It's like word of mouth. It's like, oh, these things are hard to get. I got to get. I mean, look how how crazy Switches are still going for, like on eBay and Yahoo from scalpers and stuff. They're like double the price. And
Amazon,
sometimes even
you can
triple or
buy one
more,
for
right?
$230 with Prime.
Well,
Like Mike made a perfect point. Why would you cancel or like stop producing the device when there's still a big demand? Like if I'm a company and I know there's money to be made on it, and don't tell me they weren't making like a fortune on the NES Classic, because I mean, what is it? Probably like about $5 worth of tech now in that whole little box.
Oh, especially when you mass produce it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Raspberry Pi.
Why would you do that? I can understand them saying, yeah, we gotta step back for a little while so we can catch up to our Switch production line. That I'd understand, but like just going, no, we discontinue it when there's still thousands of people going,
Yep.
who want this. It's nuts. And Nintendo, have you ever heard of pre-orders? Because that blew my mind when you couldn't go and pre-order the device. And I swear to God, if you can't pre-order the Super Nintendo Mini, like they're gonna do the same mistake again.
All right,
Pre-orders
well,
are there for a reason.
I already have a comment on that one. So I called our GameStop and I talked to the manager there, and he said so far there is no word from Nintendo being allowed to do pre-orders for the the S.
But I mean, you could do it
Mini.
on Amazon and stuff though, like because they always
So
have,
far, right now there is not. There's no post. So
Yeah.
my
brother
they
also
could possibly
predicts
release it that way. The same they did it that way with the mini, the
first one.
classic. So why not do it with they can do it. That's the weird part. And everyone loves the Nintendo, and for them to turn around and bring out the NES Classic, then discontinue it and say, oh, sorry, we can't make anymore. But then you bring out the SNES Mini, that makes no sense. Like clearly,
Those two could
are
sell
they using the
side by
same
side,
components?
No problem.
I don't know.
I mean, that could
Well,
be
it-
the only. Good, Mike.
Before I got into my current role in my job, I was actually working in supply chain. And so we brought up the point, like maybe they're having a trouble getting parts.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
guess what? If I was working my supply chain correctly, and let's say we were running out of ingredients, that's on procurement. If we ran out of the parts that we needed, somebody in procurement lost their job. If I'm doing my
absolutely.
supply chain job and I can't keep the customers stocked, then I lose my job. So something at Nintendo, just either you're not doing this on purpose, but then tell me who's getting fired over all this shit. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with the whole the SNES Mini or whatever, my brother predicts that they're either going to get the same amount that they got for the first one, or more. He doesn't think that they're going to do a whole bunch and do way better than the first time.
And there's no reason the SNES Mini and the NES Mini couldn't be sold side by side on a store shelf. It's not like one's going to outsell the other.
absolutely.
There's demand for both of those.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's still demand
definitely.
for the NES one. Like, people still want that damn thing, and they can't get it.
Yeah.
But like, my thing to that too is like, I mean, if you have like a little freaking tablet or a little laptop and stuff, you can run emulators, and don't go steal ROMs and stuff like that. Just saying, but people out there do, and you can pretty much play all those classic games.
Well, Windows
without-
10 has the simulators and stuff.
Well,
like
you can
that.
have the emulators, but you can't get the ROMs because those are illegal to
Yeah,
have.
yeah, you can.
Well, you can, but you're not supposed to.
If you
Yeah,
if you actually
can.
still own the hard copy that you had from way back
Yes,
in the 80s,
you can
it
pull
is
the ROM.
legal to get
Yes.
that ROM.
Yes, absolutely. There's some loopholes.
I just got one tip of advice, guys. If you can't get the mini NES, no shame at all in going to get AT Games Sega Genesis flashback console, because I just watched a video today on that, and they have fixed the audio in their emulation, so the games actually sound good. And they fixed those stupid IR controllers. They're now 2.4 gigahertz wireless, so they shouldn't have that stupid disconnecting issue as before. So it looks like AT Games obviously took feedback to heart and is actually making a decent Genesis console for a change. And not only does it, it's got 40 plus Genesis games on there, some really good classics, which make it worth the price. And it has like 40 other junk games. You guys are probably familiar. But the cool thing is about this console is it has a cartridge slot, so you can actually go out if you can buy used cartridges, or if you still got a pile of games sitting around your house, you can play whatever you want. Like, it's win-win, man. So I'm gonna buy
one of those for Christmas a couple years ago. We bought
one
of those.
Like, it's another thing on the NES Classic and Mini. Like, I know they added all these games, but why didn't they just have a cartridge slot too? At the end of the day, I mean, that's probably just like pennies on the dime, like, to get those things too. Like, I don't understand that either. That should have been like a feature as well.
I agree.
Totally.
Dropped it in the chat, man. I totally see your comments. I'm gonna bring those up later when we start talking about the SNES, bro, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on to.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
No, we're talking about actually the Switch. It just went into
a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Well, it's because of the NES Classic with their the way they handled that whole thing. So it made sense to bring that up, but we'll talk about this SNES later. The next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is Detroit Become Human official Twitter. Make some console war comments. I'll go ahead and read what the comment was so everybody knows, which I think pretty much a lot of people already know now. When you wake up and Detroit Become Human is still a PS4 exclusive and you're still an Xbox owner. And then they had an image below being, I forgot what it even said, like face something. But anyway, and they added that Xbox and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, I thought it was like pretty unprofessional for a developer. Let me say this too. I don't really think it was the developers per se. It was probably some community guy that thought it was funny to go ahead and tweet out at Xbox this cool little, derogatory tweet and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it was really unprofessional on them, and they did swiftly take it down after 3 hours. So I don't know how swiftly that was, but what do you guys think about this whole?
Okay, so I'm going to jump into this first. When it comes to the whole comments on Twitter, we're all not shy of the fact that we've seen a lot of developers, even, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, Mike Ybarra, all of them. They've made comments towards the other platform, but they do it in a respectful kind of way where they don't actually officially announce that they're making, this comment towards anyone in particular, where this guy didn't. He straight up said, hey, Xbox, here you go, you suck, pretty much. And it's like, well, now that's a little uncalled for, because who are you to come out and bash everybody who plays on Xbox because of this game? Like, I understand, I'm sure he's reading a lot of comments. There was a lot of bad comments after E3 about Detroit and how this game kind of looks like crap. I
don't think it looked like crap at all.
I personally was excited for this game, and I'm still going to buy it and actually play this game because, it actually interests me.
That goes to my point that I don't really think it was the developers per se.
That's why I don't think it was either. Yeah. I think it was more or less... It was more of a community, probably like a
because it was the
game's
game's official Twitter, and it wasn't developers actual Twitter. Yeah. It wasn't like Quadratic Dreams or whatever.
That's why I think Twitter. It was probably like a community manager or something like that. And in all, again, we've seen these comments from other companies, other developers themselves, but they did it in a respectful way where it was a comment. We knew the point that they were getting at. We knew who it was towards, but it was still done in a respectful manner where you weren't actually straight up disrespecting somebody, where this guy, he pretty much straight up did. Like, it was like...
Yeah, he's pretty much shut on.
And you're supposed to be professional? Yeah. Like that.
That's why they call it Twitter, because it's filled with nitwits.
Well, Twitter has its own problems. Like, they literally don't block and ban anything. Like, Twitter is ridiculous when...
What did the rest of you guys think
of the... It's like an open forum.
What did you guys think of the tweet?
I thought it was slimy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like dumb. And I don't know why they're even talking when their game's not even out. Like, what the fuck? Shut up. Well, like, how about you wait until the game speaks for itself before you're coming out here all cocky? And, I mean, you never know. Something could happen in development. You might have to delay it even more because we saw it. this E3 still with no release date, and yet you want to talk? I don't see why.
Well, that was actually something
What
that
did that
Rand
solve?
pointed out last week when we were on a show with him, that, you know, you turn around and you cause drama, yes, to get hype of your game. Understandable. But you do it closer to the launch date instead of so far behind. Like, it's supposed to be a year that it's supposed to come out, like you said, Fox. And you're going to cause hype now. Nobody's going to remember it in a couple months.
Nobody
it's
really
going
remembers
to.
it now.
Well, no, I'm sure nobody really remembers it now either. But, you know, if you're going to if you want the drama just to get your game in the hype, do it closer to the release date, not like a year away.
But do it professionally.
Yeah.
Come on.
And still do it professionally. Like, if you want to be...
Look, there's enough fanboys and shit out there to like handle all this.
Yeah.
Like developers and their community fucking pages and all that kind of stuff. Just stay the fuck out of it. Just work on your game. That's the end all be all. Just work on your game.
Here's the other thing. Like,
Exactly.
okay, Detroit Become Human. It looks like a good game. It's not my kind of game, but I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm sure it's got a very good story. That's what this is. It's really a story narrative driven game.
Right.
I mean, they don't really have the kind of clout to come out and just overtly like say like, too bad this ain't on Xbox. Like, what? Okay, now maybe if you were God of War, that might fly a little bit better. But like, come on, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
me
kind of
as an
still a
Xbox
niche
controller,
game.
I'm
like,
not jealous about
Isn't
that
this
game.
kind
I'm
of
sorry.
like a
Well, it's a
similar
niche game. It's like a
to
QTE
The Last
game.
of Us?
Huh?
Isn't it kind of a similar game to like The Last of Us?
Nah, more
where
like
you,
Heavy Rain or
you
something
press,
like
that.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah. But
Right.
That's
okay,
okay. I'll
okay.
save my dollars for a better QuickTime game. It's called Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I can't wait for Spider-Man. Absolutely.
Spider-Man's
dude.
gonna be awesome. But yeah, I thought it was. You're right, slimy for them to even come out and say anything like this. When not that many people are interested in the game anyway. So I don't know why we have to face dilemmas or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it
said.
was. Face dilemmas. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
Bottom line-
really?
I don't-
Come on.
They need to really start hiring some fucking PR people. Sorry for the F-bomb. They need to start hiring some people that, to take care of this stuff online, because there's too many guys. We've seen it more common all the time with somebody just running off their mouth saying something dumb, and sometimes it's just taken the wrong way too, as we all know that words and messages on Twitter or any social media are sometimes miscued and taken the wrong way, you know what I mean, because you can't
Look at the whole Titanfall 2 fiasco with the green disc aren't as sexy. Like, that was not a hit at Xbox. That was a hit at, like, this is an unfinished product.
Yeah.
But it was taken out of context, and, like, when you got the blue versus green, like Xbox versus PlayStation, like, saying green disc aren't as sexy, just, it was not a smart thing to say, and this was not a smart tweet to make, no matter what the intent was behind it.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
And some of these devs, they could find themselves out of a job one of these days, not working for the company, and then they might be looking upon big companies.
Microsoft,
Microsoft pick them up. Like, you got to remember, what you say today could come back to bite you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, in gaming development, I mean, it's a small world. You can't, like, burn bridges like that and then hope that one day in the future you're going to be able to build that back up again.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think this was developers. I just think it was some community man. And he's probably already gone.
Oh, probably.
Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it was Quadratic Dreams or however you say that first name that did it. So I didn't want to dwell too much on this topic because, like I said, it's unprofessional. I don't think we need to give it like a bunch of airtime to talk about that. But clean up your shit, guys. Just worry about your games. Fix your games. Get them going.
Yeah, work on that. Promote your game properly.
Games and don't worry about bashing the other system. That should be the key there.
That's what I said. We got a lot of people out there already doing that for you. Don't worry
Right.
about it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. This is kind of a game that me and SheWulf kind of picked up and just been going with lately. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds sells 4 million copies on PC alone, and it's still in early access. They're still developing this game, and it's just selling out everywhere. Like, it's just crazy.
Oh, wow.
Like when this goes on Xbox, like I keep telling everybody about this game, and we stream it sometimes too. I think it's going to be a hit, man. I think Microsoft went out and got this game, and I think it was a really smart move because I only see potential in this game. I don't see it ever like falling or anything like that. But what are your guys' like whole viewpoint on PUBG and all that kind of stuff?
I can't wait to play it. I just don't have a gaming PC right now, so I got to wait for that Xbox One release. But I mean, it looks like an exciting game. The idea behind it, like, you've got this large battleground where there's just like, how many people are available to be in a lobby?
100 people.
Like,
100.
100 people. Okay, so that's a huge,
Huge amount of people.
Like, and then like once you die, like you're gone. You can't respawn in that round or anything like that.
No,
Yep.
It really
even okay. So the way that this game works is you get into a lobby with 100 people, and then you go into a plane. They drop you from the plane. Like you actually choose where you want to drop on the map. So that, and you gotta hope and pray to God that the people that are in the plane with you aren't dropping at the same place, because you have no idea where
That's
they're
awesome,
dropping
though,
either. But as it's going,
oh, thunder.
yeah, that was loud thunder. As it's going, like there's a circle, there's a white circle you have to be in at all times, pretty much. If you're outside, this blue circle, it pretty much kills you. Like it literally takes down your health as you're going. And if you do
and it keeps
not,
the action like really action packed the whole time.
Yes,
because the map is ginormous.
yeah,
it's huge.
Well, at first, and then it moves down to like every I think it's like it goes from 5 to like 3 to like 2 to like 1. It increases like constantly.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's intense. It's like really intense the way that they worked in. It's going to be interesting to see it play on Xbox, and I think it's going to be one game that I think everyone's going to probably enjoy playing. It's Hunger Games, but
Yeah.
on a video game, and a lot more people.
Yeah. And the other part that I think is really interesting about this game is everybody starts out even, so you don't have to worry about like going in and playing against people that have been playing the game for a super long amount of time and have all this gear that you just can't fight against, and you have to kind of grind away. It's really just go in there, find whatever gear you can, and then try and shoot and survive. Like it's absolutely like at its core mechanic, it's just absolute blast.
Now, I've seen a lot of people. Predator pointed this out. A lot of people say like they have PCs, but they won't play it because of the fact that they don't like the mouse and keyboard. You can actually go through Steam and set up your Xbox One controller to play with it. You just kind of have to change a couple things around to get it to, because some of the button mapping isn't actually on the controller. You have to actually put it somewhere in your
The
controller.
game wasn't built for a controller yet.
Yeah,
until
it
it comes out for the
built
Xbox.
for controller on
What were you
PC?
going to say, Newf?
I was just going to say, would you say an accurate assessment of this game is Battlefield meets SOCOM?
Essentially, yeah, because of the third-person view and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good surmise.
I mean, the large battlefields, right? But like I said, the perspective and the way I kind of see it handling on screen, it definitely has a little bit of certainly the SOCOM 4. I think it was more so than anything. It just kind of has that little bit of a feel to it.
Yeah,
maybe a
absolutely.
little Ghost Recon, but it looks like a pretty cool game. Like when it does come out for the Xbox One, I'll definitely have to give it some. Definitely have to check it out. And give it a try, because I like those kind of games, and massive battlefield and all that stuff with all those players. It definitely has tons of potential, and it's nice to see that it is doing really well on PC. 4 million is definitely a statement, and hopefully it builds from there.
Now, GKB, I got a question for you.
Sure.
You've played this, right?
Absolutely.
So, do you ever find that when you're playing this game, because like there is such a large amount of players in the game, is there any point in time where you make some temporary alliances, and then like as the game goes further and further on, that kind of dissolves?
No, absolutely not, man. Everybody is just like out to get you.
You
It's
can go
crazy.
in with a team. Like you can
Yeah, you
go
can play solo, dual,
triple or
duos too. You can do duos.
Well,
I think
yeah.
you can have like as many up to
Okay.
4.
you can
Well,
have
'cause I
up
was
to
gonna say-
4, but the only problem is when one of your teammate dies, you still have to keep playing. Even
Right,
though
right.
At a disadvantage. Good.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I could see that when this game comes to Xbox, this would be like a great game for co-streaming and stuff like that. And I could see like with Xbox Live parties, like you're having some alliances, but then like towards the end, like it's every man out for himself as the playing field gets smaller and smaller.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this game. I like how it's shooter, survivor, and like a whole mix of things, and you could have vehicles. And I think it's entertaining also to watch, because I've been watching it for a while now without knowing it was coming to Xbox. And especially with the right like streamer, is super entertaining and funny. Try it on Xbox myself,
Yeah.
because I do not have a PC, but I enjoyed watching you guys play it and stuff. When you weren't camping in a corner, I thought it was really good.
That's kind of the part of the game, though. Is you kind of gotta camp a little bit. To everybody that
I know.
Yeah, I totally noticed that the Google Hangouts is kind of locked out. Google Hangouts is Google Hangouts. As long as you can hear everybody, that's the most important thing. But I saw some like things on Twitter too that like people were, the graphics this, the graphics that. Like, again, this is one of those games that if you have the horsepower to run this game, it looks fantastic. But I can tell you right now, people with like high-end PCs run this game on low because it's completely not optimized. And it's probably coming to the preview program and everything on Xbox. So you have to go into with that aspect too. It's probably not going to run great. You're probably going to have a lot of low graphics and stuff, even on the Xbox One X. Until they start, and I think it's going to be in the preview program for quite some time to work out those bugs, get it optimized and running well. Remember, this is a small team, guys.
But honestly, though, I'd have to say, even though it's on low graphics, we still don't have like you still don't like fall through the map or get stuck when you're when you're driving or if you're like running and you don't like fall into a building or anything. This game, even though it's in like a beta form, it still is actually really outstanding for the map that we're given and how many people are playing in that server with you. It actually runs
super stable.
Really well and it's very stable. And they even have like running water, or it can even have like one of the ones I love the most is when the map is actually like pouring rain, because it's so much harder for like everyone to find you and stuff, because there's actually like you get like the fog and you get like the mist and stuff from like the water and everything. So there's a lot of other things going on, and for the fact of like how they're doing it, it still runs really smoothly. And I have to say, like, that's one thing I love about this game.
Yeah, it's all about the gameplay.
Scale and scope, people. Scale and scope. Those big games are not freaking easy to render, especially with so much AI and moving parts, man.
I mean, it's got vehicles, like, planes flying overhead, dropping stuff.
Supplies in every house.
Yeah, every house you can go into. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game. I'm surprised it runs as well as it does, to be honest with you. But great topic, guys.
But they're going to bring it out in. Aren't they bringing it to preview before they bring out the actual full game? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So that should make a big difference to it too before it actually comes out in full form.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be around the same price too, like $30, maybe a little bit higher. Who knows? But I think it's probably going to be $30.
I think it'll probably be like 30 for the preview people, and then when they release it full, I think it'll go to 60.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have a lot of content by
and then you'll see it drop again for sales, but
yeah, that game's gonna sell like.
Or maybe they'll do like $20 for preview and then $30 for full or something.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a game that would really benefit and possibly kind of need that extra horsepower from the Xbox One X.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of a bummer too. It's like 30 FPS on the consoles. I think that's kind of a bummer because I think it really needs the 60 FPS for this kind of game. But we'll have to see how it runs and how they optimize it for the consoles for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, and this one is been making me hard all goddamn day. And that is
wow. No chill GKV?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Everybody knows that I'm a freaking super huge Diablo 3 fan, and the Necromancer is out now, and it's super freaking awesome. Let's go ahead and go through some of the stuff here. Got a bunch of crap to read through.
I think it's safe to say GKB has been necromancing the heck out of that game.
Sure.
Oh my god.
SheWulf and I already have like level 70 necros. Like, we literally did it before the show started, man. We got on there and was like, let's do it. So yeah, the Necromancer is going to be priced at $14.99 on the console and or PC, wherever you're playing it. You do need the Reaper of Souls expansion for the PC, but you're okay on the consoles because that's how it comes anyway. You're going to get additional character slots, some stash tabs on the PC, portrait banner, sigil, accent and pennants, a brand new pet, which is really cool.
He's ugly.
And you get some wings and stuff too. He's ugly, but he's cool.
I like the wings. I don't like the pet.
The wings are awesome.
They could have gave me a cute pet.
Here's the other cool thing too. We were kind of talking about this before the show, is if you have been wanting to get into Diablo 3, and they have a bunch of DLC and all that kind of stuff now, they have the Eternal Collection that you can get, which has everything up to date, which is fantastic. I'm sure Foxy is going to be talking about that later in the deal section, or Mike in the Out Now, I don't know. And then with this, you're going to get the patch 2.6 for the game. So you're going to be getting 2 new zones, the Shrouded Moors and the Temple of Firstborn. Also, the Realms of Fate, which is a mashup of pre-existing zones. So they're kind of like taking a couple zones and putting them together to make it like new and exciting, which is really cool. And you're getting challenge rifts, which are weekly challenges that you get like a base character, however they set it up, and you do the best you can on the rifts, which is awesome. That sounds like a super ton of fun. We were playing it earlier, like I said. It's fantastic. The Necromancer is really cool. I'm already digging the crap out of it. I love the new maps and stuff because we got to see some of those in the rifts. So it's super fantastic. If you're not playing Diablo 3, what the hell are you doing with your life? Go get this freaking game. It's so good.
The maps are so big, though. That's it. Like, their maps, whoever complained about bigger maps, I wish you would have just stayed quiet, because now these maps are so hard to, like, get around and stuff, especially when you're trying to, like, okay, so you're trying to find the door in the rift to, like, actually move on to the next area. But, like, you can go around the whole map, but, like, some of the entranceways to, like, go into, like, another part of the same map is, like, this little itty-bitty trail, and it's, like, trying to find it is, like, next to nothing. And, oh, my God, it was driving me crazy, because I was, like, running around, like, with my, like, a chicken with its head cut off, trying to, like, just find these friggin' openings so that I could go through.
Is the rest of the panel members, are you guys on the Diablo train, or are you guys not on the Diablo train? I'm not sure.
Man, I got the Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls edition when it came out for Xbox One, and
Nice.
I never really got into it. I really wanted to, but I never had anybody to play it with or anything like that. So,
oh, see, that's what ruins it. I think if you have someone to play, it's definitely more fun when you have people to play with, unless you already have the characters and you're just running through to, like, try to, like, you know, complete quests or trying to complete, like, different rifts and try to get higher in your rifts and stuff. But I think starting off, it's definitely better to play with somebody.
I mean, it's got a great campaign, though.
so hey,
I
open
totally
invitation. Who
agree
wants to
with
play Diablo 3 with me? Ah.
I was late picking
No.
up Diablo 3 for the Xbox One, and I played it, and I have to admit I really enjoyed it. But my problem was much like The Division. By the time I basically got into the game, most of my friends had moved on. They're like, yeah. And like it's the kind of game that is great, but even better if you got a couple of great buddies to roll along and level up with you. So that was my big problem. Then I ended up trading it for whatever reason. So maybe I'll have to pick it up again if I can ever get the backlog whittled down just a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never got into Diablo. I tried to, but I never could get into it. So obviously I didn't have any interest in 3, but I seen that train going, so choo-choo for you.
Well, that brings me to a good question, and I'll get your opinion on GKB SheWulf. You guys are big Diablo fans. I know this new one that's coming out, this new game, Path of Exile, is coming out, and it kind of looks a lot like Diablo.
Yep.
I think some of you have played it already.
Yep.
Which would you say is better? Because I think one is free, isn't it?
I think Path of Exiles was free, or it's like really cheap on the PC right now. Path of Exiles is like, I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's kind of like a Diablo clone. But what's really cool about Path of Exiles is just the skill tree. Like, it is so massive when you get in there and start making characters and like really diving into the meta of the game. It will keep you busy, like coming up with some awesome character features and skills and all that kind of stuff, as well as it does all the same stuff as Diablo, like you dungeon crawling and doing all that kind of stuff, getting gear and everything like that. Very similar, but just the skill trees are way more massive. I like both those games. I think they're both fantastic, and they offer different experiences, but I'm still like a huge Diablo guy. I just love Diablo.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out exactly the major difference between the new Necromancer and the Demon Hunter.
Don't you start, girl. Don't you start.
He keeps getting annoyed with me because I said they pretty much look similar. Like,
I mean,
their
Demon Hunter does
characters.
have like pet builds and all that
does.
kind of stuff too. I get that, but it's a necro.
But
It's
again,
awesome.
we just got the character to 70,
That's a
so
cooler
yes,
name.
I haven't
Yeah, for
actually
real.
got to. Well, I like
Tell her,
Demon Hunter
Fox, tell
better
her.
than Necromancer.
I was joking. Oh my god.
But either way, it's just, only got to 70, so haven't really got to play around with the actual build and stuff yet. So I'm still open-minded to it. I'm just saying, to me personally, because my main character is a Demon Hunter, and so when I saw this and even playing some of it, like, it was pretty felt very similar.
Yeah, but like every
so
Diablo character, you have to wait till it's all geared out and like,
that's,
and you're
I
gonna
know.
see the nuances
That's why I
and
said
differences.
I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
Quick question for you guys.
Yeah,
Would
sure.
you stream it?
We are
We are
streaming.
we will be streaming it tonight, actually.
Oh, tonight.
Yeah.
That was the game you guys were talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm listening now.
So if you guys want to come check out the Necro, because we're going to be doing the gear grind
Yeah, I
tonight.
want to see some of that.
We're going to gear them up and all that kind of stuff tonight. So if you guys want to come hang out,
Watch
check us
me
out on Mixer.
die.
Yeah, it's going to be good times.
And die.
So yeah, super excited about Diablo. Love Diablo. It's my favorite game.
Surprise, surprise.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and get into one more topic, and then we're going to get out with the Out Now segment. Oh, yeah, guys, we're doing a new segment tonight. Out Now. It's going to be awesome. This one's kind of cool. This is half speculation, and kind of some of the devs kind of like hinted to it, but I thought it would be a really good conversation to talk about, and that's the new Shadow of Mordor patch that just came out. Everybody's kind of speculating that this is going to lead to importing your Shadow of Mordor save games into Shadow of War, which I thought was like super interesting. Because
Man,
like,
as long as they don't bring back my nemesis, because he kicks
Well,
my
that's
ass every
the-
time I turn that
That's
game
the
on.
thing.
that's the thing with that would be coming over is like the nemesis and stuff, and I thought that would be like so cool. Like you have this like level 50 that just kicking your ass, and he's in the new game too. You're like, oh my god, I can't get rid of this guy. I don't know why.
But then that kind of defeats the purpose of all the like new traits and new things that they added into the like part 2.
I'm sure
like,
they'll have a creative way. They'll make him
Yeah.
like a boss character or something.
well, I'm sure.
So here's some of the stuff like. So the updated Shadow of Mordor went live. It's patch 1.1, and the WB has no like release notes. Like they didn't like put anything out about this patch. It was literally just, hey, here you go, guys. So the patch, which is also interesting, ranges in sizes depending on the console and or PC. Like it's 6 gigs on the PS4, 2.3 on the Xbox One, and 8.1 megabytes on the PC.
Those are all very different.
Yeah, I know. But here's the other thing that goes into the point of like maybe this is a thing. Like they added this in to get the save data and going into is here. There was an interview that I wanted to point out. In Monolith's creative vice president Michael DePlatter was asked by Games Radar whether the new game would allow for imported saves. Platter said, "Oh, I don't remember what we're allowed to say about that." And then he went and talked to the nearby PR person.
That was
and he
the
comes
coolest
back.
part.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got nothing to say about this." And I'm just like,
It was like,
come on, bro.
obviously now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's basically what it was at that point. It was like, oh, of course you're doing
No,
that.
not at all.
Yeah.
No.
But I thought it was
He
cool because, like,
covers
what
it.
Mike said, like, it brings your nemesis over and all that kind of stuff. And, like, you're trying to get into this castle, and he's, like, the dude you got to fight. You're just going to be like, I hate this. What do you guys take on that whole thing? You think it's coming? You think it's not?
If I run into Orlok the Neck Crusher again, he's going to crush my neck. That's all I got to say.
It's interesting. Like, this could be, say, possibly a future in gaming where they can actually take, like, first games and put in a patch that allows you to carry over your your
yeah,
saved
BioWare
data.
did that, like Mass Effect and all that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to see this in, say, future games where we see a lot of stuff that we lose when we go to sequels and stuff like
It's a
that.
good point. Absolutely good point.
Like, we lose so much, and then people are like, well, I just worked so hard for all of that. Like, Destiny being a good one. There's a lot of things going back and forth about, like, even paid things that people paid for in Destiny 1.
It's
Like,
not transferring over.
yeah, nothing's transferring over, and this is, like, but yet they can transfer characters over.
I think you made a good
which is
point with
kinda-
like what you were saying about like bringing things over. Like if you spent a lot of time in like Shadow of Mordor, and then all the stuff that you did in that game kind of affects the new game. Like I could definitely see that as a really awesome thing for people that really enjoy that, but also like people that were kind of like on the fence or didn't play Shadow of Mordor
They
would
can
go
start
back and
fresh.
play it,
Well,
or they
yes.
could start fresh too in the game and be like whatever.
Well, yeah, it's like a lot of games, usually when the first one comes out, you do all of this work and you're like, okay, this is awesome. And then the second one comes out and you're like, now I'm starting over. Do I really want to play? I really want to play because of the fact that it's a new game and I love the first one. But it's always in the back of a lot of people's minds. I wish I could bring my stuff with me. I wish I could bring my characters with me. And if it's actually going to be that easy for them to put in just a patch that will allow them to do that, that's going to be like that will actually make a big impact on upcoming games in the future.
Yeah, it would be great if all the powers that you upgraded in Shadow of Mordor will also somehow carry over, so that way you don't have to, like, you know, do that grind at the beginning to get all those upgrades. If you already bring a lot of those upgrades in, and then you just focus on getting the new upgrades that are part of the new game, that would be pretty sweet too.
No, I agree. Personalization in games is really the future where we're going in so many ways. I mean, that's something that we're starting to see more and more of, is that, like I said, being able to take your characters, some of your saves, the things that happen throughout dialogue wheels and things, those circumstances or consequences carrying over are huge, especially as the series progresses. Like I said, it was done pretty well with Mass Effect. And it will only get better in due time as they figure out ways around it. I mean, that was one of the fun parts, even with like the Telltale, The Walking Dead, how those series is carried on and some of those consequences as well. And they weren't that sophisticated, but it's the one cool thing about that series is that you can go and play that stuff and go back and try to make different choices and stuff. So no, I totally agree. I think it's where the future of gaming is really going. It's stuff that keeps you going back to a franchise because you have a choice to, like I said, you actually have some say in the outcomes.
Yeah, and you're invested in the story. It's a great point about the whole Telltale thing, because I was going to bring that up as well. And even though it's cool to have your character and your stuff that you got, I think it's really important for the story. So if you're invested in the story and you care about these characters, whether they're still linked to you in the next game, whether some of them are missing, somebody died or something, it affects the next game. I think that's awesome when it comes to the story aspect of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Newf? Wait, Newf was talking.
Newf just talked right before me, girl. It's all good.
No worries. All right, let's go ahead and get... Go ahead.
What are you drinking? It looked like you were going to have some bad gas a second ago. What's going on?
Actually, no. The dog actually had some really bad gas. That's just like, and he's like sitting right behind us. I'm like, oh my god, and I'm trying to get him to go away. So I'm like, paying attention, like trying to like boot his butt to get him to move, and he's just not moving. He's just
he doesn't want to scooch on over.
Like,
he doesn't.
That's the last thing you want to be touching.
Nice.
Well, like his legs and stuff. I don't mean like his direct butt.
I know. Just torment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our new segment. Mike's going to go ahead and take this one away. What's out now, Mike?
All right, so what's out now? We're going to be going through the latest releases, and I'm just going to kick it off here. So last Friday, June 23rd, on all platforms, we got a game release called Get Even. And then yesterday on Monday, on the PC, there was a game that released called Secret World Legends. Now, today, Tuesday, is the big day for titles to drop. So let's go through all the releases. We've got on the PS4, Dragon Ronpa, another episode, Ultra Dispari Grills. Comes out on
names.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It actually came out a couple of days ago in Europe. It came out today here in the States. Also on the PS4, we've got Elite Dangerous. Glad that system is getting that game. I've been playing it on Xbox One since it came to preview, and it's freaking amazing.
Absolutely.
If you were not satisfied with what was that the Sean Murray game? Anyway, if you're looking for a good space exploration game, get Elite Dangerous. You will not be sad.
No Man's something.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. That's what it was. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot about that, but I think a lot of people want to forget about that.
Yes.
Also today, the standalone version of the Call of Duty 4 remaster came out for the PS4. And let's see, we've got on PS4 and Xbox One, the Final Fantasy 15 DLC episode Prompto. Everybody wanted more Prompto out of that game, so now you've got it. Not really sure how many people asked for that, but you've got it. Also, we've got for PS4, PS Vita, and the Xbox One, Valkyria Revolution. Now on the PSVR today, a new VR game / experience called Arizona Sunshine came out.
Oh, dude, I watched Kind of Funny play that, and I don't know. I just don't know about that game. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just gonna say, if Crap Gamer's still here watching, he'll probably want to check out that Arizona Sunshine because I know he's been loving his PSVR. And if I had a VR, I'd give it a shot too. Let's see, on all platforms, PC, PS4, Xbox One, we got the Golf Club 2. And I don't know if anybody's heard about this game or not. It's actually not a full game, but some DLC came out today. I think we may have mentioned it briefly earlier. Diablo 3, we got the Eternal Collection dropping today, as well as the Rise of the Necromancer pack for those who already have the Reaper of Souls base version that came out on Xbox One and PS4. Now, coming up here this Thursday, this will be the last release for this week's What's Out Now. This is a little bit of a precursor, but on Thursday for PC, we're getting Heroes of Skyrim. And stay tuned next week for what's out now for all the future releases coming up after that.
Sweet. Anybody says Diablo 3, I'm just like, yes. Absolutely.
Nice, Mike. Well done.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well done.
Good stuff, dude.
Nice.
Some good games coming out.
Yeah, so I hope you guys can look forward to the new segment, What's Out Now, with Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike. He's
Mike.
magic.
You know, for being in the middle of summer, that's actually a pretty impressive list of games dropping for what's out now. I mean, normally this is the dry time of year, so to see like that there's more than just 3 or 4 games that we can talk about, that's a good way to have the summer rolling.
Well, indie development is off the freaking charts. Like every time I turn on my Xbox and I go to the new game section, it's like.
Did Newf just cut out?
I think he just cut out.
How many indie games are coming out?
Oh, no.
We seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulties.
I think it's Google
with
Hangouts.
Yes.
Yeah. Hangouts is just.
But I agree with you. If we do get a lot of indies, it's true.
I love indies. Keep them coming.
There's a lot of good indies.
Awesome stuff. Like the touring
Keep
test.
it coming. Got no time to play, but keep it coming.
Yeah.
Well, hell.
Pizza Ninja Girl, or whatever her name. Ninja Pizza Girl.
Ori and the
Pizza
Blind
Ho.
Forest was actually first called an indie game when it first released, but then became a AA when it became Xbox
Still
Game
an
of
indie
the
game
Year.
to me.
It grew up in our hearts, and we saw it. Oh,
Yeah,
it was
did grow up.
beautiful.
Yeah. Give me all the indies. I'm down. Down.
Ninja Pizza Ho been taking that large pepperoni.
Oh my god.
No chills.
That was funny. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Forza 7 install size is 100 gigabytes with 4K assets and textures. In today's games, is hard drive space gonna be at a premium? So it's kind of funny too, because IGN does this like video. Dude's wearing a PlayStation shirt. And he's like, you're forced to download all these 4K assets on your Xbox and blah, blah, blah. Now, I will give people the benefit of the doubt, like, yes, it's only a 1 terabyte hard drive, 4K, is going to have a big textures and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a bigger size. So you have to be wary.
100 gigs for Forza.
Just for the base game.
Yeah, that's
no
just for
DLC, no
yeah,
nothing.
That's just for the base game. 100
Halo
gigs
5
for
is 100
Forza
gigs right now.
Sports 7.
Yeah, but like, look how much DLC and everything you've gotten since.
Right.
True. Very true.
I mean, that's fair. Like,
Now,
but
okay,
games
so-
starting at 100 gigs.
So,
though.
for instance, say if you took Forza Horizon 3, okay, and you took that game and it was 100K, then you also have to look at the snow level that they did, and then they added Hot Wheels and then,
Lizard.
yes,
Yep.
like
And
you take all of that, and that all racks up. So it being 100,
I wanted to bring up this conversation just to be like doing like kind of like a public service announcement for people that might be getting into the Xbox One X or coming over for the first time and getting into 4K gaming, because even on PC we have these struggles too. Like, yeah, you can upgrade your PC, put more hard drive space and all that kind of stuff in there, but you're kind of limited in the consoles. It's awesome that they can have external hard drives and stuff, but you got to be wary when you get into this stuff. 1 terabyte's not going to last as long as some of the stuff, especially when you're in 4K. But as far as like the IGN guys, the Xbox One X renders at 4K every single game, no matter what TV you're using. It just super samples if you're on a 1080p screen, and it makes it look fantastic. That's why you get the 4K textures on every damn game on the Xbox One X. Come on, IGN. Get your head out of your ass.
makes a perfect point. Like, you're getting better systems. Wouldn't you want better looking games?
Exactly.
Like,
That was what I was thinking. Like when they were announcing this, like, okay, everyone, they're trying to like start up a war over the Xbox One X, forcing you to download these 4K assets. Like, well, if I'm gonna buy this hardware, I want to showcase the hardware. And how pissed off would I be if I had to manually go through every game that I owned and see if there was a 4K texture pack I could download?
Yeah,
like I would rather
Well,
it just
it's not
automatically do
even-
that in the background.
Okay, so it's not even just that. Like, think about it. Games obviously have to go up in size for the more things that are added to them. They're just like consoles. They're just like PCs. Games are just like every other technology that comes out. It's a file. It has to go larger to have better quality. So
there's only so much compression you can do.
Exactly.
Right.
There is only so much. And for the fact that games are going to be coming out at 100 gigs, buy a bigger external hard drive. They sell them. Don't
That's who's going to be really happy
every
about this
single
is-
game.
Yes, hard drive
Seagate.
manufacturers. Yes.
Oh, Seagate is just sitting there like waiting for this. Like, yes,
They're
I
like,
have a
hell
4 terabyte
yes.
hard drive for you to buy. Oh yeah.
Put 500 gigs in the Xbox
They'll
One
be
X.
dropping.
Do it.
They'll be dropping like 5 terabytes to like $100.
They already got, like,
and
8 ones out.
selling them like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
always find deals for them.
Yeah.
It's like the TV market, like Samsung, LG, and all these guys making 4K TVs. Like, I bet you, like, they've been so happy since the Xbox One S started pushing the envelope here, because I bet you their sales have increased because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to get off topic, but but yeah, we're talking about hard drives. No, they must be loving that stuff. I bet you the sales on hard drives have gone up exponentially, and it was nice that PlayStation finally got with the program too, because I just recently ran out of all my hard drive space on my PS4, and I think I had less than a dozen games, and I was like, this sucks. And about 2 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we're going to finally bring external, and it's cool. I could have popped it open and put a thing in, but to me that's really unnecessary to have like pry your system
so
open.
easy to do that. You know, it's super easy to just replace your hard drive in your PS4.
And
I mean, it's easy, but I wouldn't say it's super, like, you know.
No,
it's easier on a PC.
I mean, they make it sound like you could just push a button and it's like changed, but that's not really the case. Yeah.
But the thing when it comes to hard drives, though, is majority of us and anybody that I really know personally, when you don't play a game for a certain amount of time, you uninstall it anyway.
That's what I was going to bring up, too.
It's not like the Xbox deletes your games. Like, your library is always there, no matter what. So to uninstall a game and then...
I always go back and forth. Like, I totally... Because I was going to bring that up, too. It's like, yeah, you could totally... like, when I finish a game, I uninstall it just to save space and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm like...
especially indies.
I go through my list, and I'm like, I don't want to delete that. I know some point, like 3 years from now, I'm going to want to play that game, and I don't.
3 years from now?
No, that's the conversation I have with myself about the games. I'm just like,
I just delete. I'm like, well, it's still there. The game is still there. It's not like it's gone. So,
but you know what happens though? Like when you get to that point where you're like, I want to play that game, and then you're like, fuck, I gotta like install it again.
I usually tell people. You know, I usually tell people. Here's the thing I say when people are asking me about it. I go, look, first of all, consider the multiplayer stuff, because that's stuff that you're often going to come back to and play on all the time. So you want to ask yourself, what are the first 3 to 6 games that you play most often, even if it's not single player. Like these are things to take in consideration, right? Like for me, like Gears of War, I do not delete my Gears of War, period. That's one game that will never get deleted, because somewhere along the line I'm going to be asked to play it, and probably Halo. So, and especially those really large games that are 50 gigs.
Now, the one thing,
by games, like you don't want to be re-downloading those like every 3 or 4 days.
Oh hell no. Good, Mike.
One thing that I do have to say is that this is kind of a kick in the butt for anybody that is on a data cap. It would be nice if there was some sort of an option where they could get like an Xbox One X disc, where they could just install it off the disc, if they could include like a second Blu-ray or something like that. But we know that every game is an Xbox One game. You're just getting to download extra stuff. So, you know, it's not so much a criticism for Microsoft. It's more of a criticism towards internet service providers that are still capping people's data. I mean, that to me is just atrocious.
Yeah, that's a terrible practice, absolutely. And if you're on the Xbox One S, don't worry about this. Like, you're still getting to get the base version. You're not going to have to download that 4K and take up all your hard drive space either. So just be wary.
I like that they tell you what it is instead of like, oh, it's going to be 100 and just deal with it.
Yeah.
I like that they're telling you, look, it's because of this and it's for the better and it's going to make your eyeballs blow up. I mean, that's a plus, right?
Yeah.
Well, what was the one thing in the IGN video? They were like, even if you have a 1080p TV, you're still going to have to download these. It's like, well, duh, that's how super sampling works.
Yeah, because you got to see a difference on the 1080. That's why.
Yeah, like if you don't download the 4K assets, you're not going to be able to super sample anything. It's going to be the same as the Xbox One S version, so why wouldn't you want that?
Exactly. That's what you're paying extra
Do you even
for.
have an option to not download it on the X? I guess that's a good question to ask. Like,
it depends
I don't know.
how
I
they
think it's going to be like the
when you're downloading it.
Like
you know how they have and stuff like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Someone says in the chat, will we be able to swap out the Xbox One X hard drive, or
internally?
Is it? Yeah.
No.
No.
You have to pop
be able
up
to.
case.
Bad idea.
Yeah,
just get externals. That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, that's why they have the support for all those large externals to just plug that in.
Yeah, they didn't do it like the
Externals?
PlayStation that allows you to like swap out hard drives. One, they probably don't want people like once you open a case on a console or anything, half
Void
the
your
time
warranty.
you lose your warranty. And I'm pretty sure PlayStation is the same way, even if you
Not the hard
change.
drive.
Not the hard drive?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe.
I think that's a separate compartment or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
why.
I thought it broke the warranty if you did.
On the Xbox, it does because you have to take the whole damn thing apart. To get to the
Right,
hard drive.
and once you have to get the operating system installed on the hard drive before you actually physically put the hard drive in, and if they've got the operating system like code up on the internet, people are going to crack that and do all kinds of crazy crap with it. People already do that, so why make it easier for them? Like, no, external hard drive support is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. Like today's hard drives and stuff, they're super cheap. Like that 8 terabyte one, it's $200, but I mean, it's 8 terabytes. Like that's
they're
a
cheap.
lot of
Oh my
memory.
God, that's awesome.
You can have several of them. That's the thing.
Yeah, you
like
can have
they're
multiple.
cheap, and you can have, and they're always on sale. They're always on sale where you can get.
I put them on sale like every other week. They're on sale, except for Australia. Sorry, Australia, I love you, but they don't
Australia
get the same deals that we do.
Yeah, they get boned
sucks.
all the time. Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's the
actually,
same
Canada
product.
actually, some of the stuff that I find on sale for hard drives, it would go to Canada, but they will not ship to Australia at all. So
Oh wow, interesting.
Hard drives are like boobies. Most people like bigger ones, but that means you gotta buy a bigger bra.
Oh my God.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next topic. Sean Layden states no PS5 anytime soon. And you know what? Thank frigging God. Because I'm tired of buying a console every freaking couple of years. I hope they just chill and relax.
Other year. It's like every other year. Like last year it was the S or the Pro, and then
Or the
you
Slim,
have
or
the
some other
Slim,
freaking thing.
and then it's now the X, and then it would be like slow down, guys. Slow down.
Why would you want a PS5 already when there are so many PS4 games that are still not released? Like, let's let these games come out before we start clamoring over the next generation again.
Well, it's not even just that. It's like, what would be the purpose of actually having the Pro if the 5 was just going to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and who knows what Sony's going to do with the console generation? Like, they're saying they want to stick towards more standard generation. So does that mean they're not going to have the backwards compatibility like what Xbox is leaning more towards?
Yeah, when he made that statement, I was kind of like, what does that actually mean? But let's go ahead and get into what some of the stuff is. So he was asked, will a game only run on the PS4 Pro at some time? And Layden pretty much shot that down. He's like, hell no, it's going to play on everything. So they're not ever going to make just a Pro-only game. He was asked about the mid-cycle refreshes, which we were kind of talking about already. And is it going to be like the smartphone market? And he's like, with PlayStation 4, we have, for the first time, implemented this kind of innovation within a life cycle of a console. The Pro is really only to offer advantages such as 4K resolutions and HMD for players who can and want to use that. And to this is more stable image rate. I'm thinking he's talking about frame rate and larger hard disk space. But who has a standard PS4, no real disadvantages. Each of the games will continue to run on the classic PS4 and possibly slightly better on the Pro. And then he went on to ask about the PS5. And he shot that down and was like, that's not coming anytime soon. So like some really interesting comments there. I like how he kind of talked about the PS4 Pro and all that kind of stuff. And, they're not doing... I guess I'm okay with the mid-cycle refreshes. Like, so say the PS5 does start like a new generation, like a traditional generation, and say they have a PS 5.5, and then they go into the PlayStation 6 or something like that. I think that's okay.
Well, they did it for, like... That's pretty much the Slims that they did in the 360.
But I'm just talking, even if like they have a little bit more hardware, and even like I think this is even going to slow down, and probably maybe it won't even continue, because I think at some point, and you guys can touch on this too, the hardware is just going to get to a point where you don't really need to upgrade the hardware anymore. Like 6T flops, 7T flops, 8T flops. Like at that point, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Everybody's got the same game, pushing as hard as they can on any of the hardware. So I think we're going to get to a point where it doesn't really matter anymore. What do you guys think?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. I mean, once you get to a certain level of graphical fidelity, it's more going to come down towards not so much the output that you're getting in visuals, but I think it's going to come into software coding, advanced AI. I think that's really where games need to focus on. I mean, our visuals, even on the base Xbox One, they really do look great. The base PS4, the base Xbox One, for as much as people want 4K and all the bells and whistles, you can get those with the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. But what I want to see is a major leap in actual gameplay, not so much the visual leap, but I'm waiting for a gameplay leap, and that still really hasn't happened yet. So that's what I'm looking more forward to when it comes to future generations, and that's going to come down to more the CPU processing power.
Correct.
And I mean, for any computer geeks out there, there's Moore's law. Like, you're going to hit a certain plateau where you've got to figure out how is the software going to accommodate the hardware hitting that plateau, and
Exactly.
that's where things need to progress towards.
Exactly, and there's a lot of factors now to get the most bang for your buck, because obviously this generation now, I mean, a year ago a 1080p television was kind of like the top of the line, and now all of a sudden you've got to get a 4K TV to, I mean, not necessarily enjoy your Xbox One X. It's going to look great either way, but honestly, like they are telling you that really to get the full maximum benefit, you need a new TV. So now you've got to go buy the television. You've got to remember now, we were just talking about storage earlier, which is becoming a huge factor now with gaming systems. We're talking about internet speeds have to be able to be at a standard that can catch up to the 4K downloads, the memory. Like there's so many factors now outside of just having the console itself that play a factor in your next purchase and where this industry goes. I mean, we're starting to see a little bit of a plateau, I think, in graphics. If I do say so myself, like it's not like the games now in general, like even indie games, for example, are looking very impressive these days. Like it's starting
like Ashen and stuff.
The lines are getting blurred between one game to another. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like compared to what it was like. Remember going from 16-bit like to the 32-bit in the eras.
Yeah, there's like a big difference.
Like it was night and day. It wasn't like you had to squint your eyeballs and stand next to the TV 5 feet away and go, "Oh yeah, there's a couple of pixels missing out of this."
Or have Digital
hair.
Foundry like blow up like a screen like 300% so you could see what they're actually talking about or something like that, like they're doing now.
Yeah, 360 games from 6 and 7 years ago still hold up pretty well today. Like that's what I'm saying. Like those lines are blurred. So developers now have to go somewhere else, and then you're looking at the cost, and not just bringing out a console, but the cost for these guys to make games on the bloody thing are astronomical. So somewhere along the lines, hopefully that starts to come down for those guys so they can make bigger investments. They can make games that aren't they get the return on investment. Like if you go out and spend $100 million on a game now and you're barely lucky to sell 1.5 million copies, like I don't know if you're getting your money back. And this is a big problem for all other companies now. Like this is the thing with Microsoft and Sony and various people. Like they're like there's no. That's why we see so many Call of Duty games, because it's a safe gamble for Activision. It's like they know even as shitty as the Call of Duty game is, like last year's version, it still sells 5 million copies.
Yeah, I think they have it down to a science with that game where they're not really, putting that much money into these games, and they're just making all profit at this point, I believe. Like, I really don't think...
well, no, they have, like, if we're talking about Activision, they have...
Well, just the Call of Duty series in general.
Well, the Call of Duty series in general, they have esports, they have these...
Oh, yeah, they have a bunch of other things.
High-price gamers that stand behind that so many, younger generations look at and want to be them, because, come on, who doesn't want to obviously play games and make a living out of it? So, that's why Call of Duty, I think, is so popular and stays where it is because of the fact of it's got a huge fan base. So, that's my thoughts.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. All I'm going to say is that I hope the next iteration of systems is a ways out. Like, I'll be happy if I don't see another one until at least 2020 or 2021, to be honest with you. Like, it's time to just start enjoying our games right now, the ones that we have, because, everybody in this whole panel right now is complaining how the backlog is insane. Give us some time to catch up. It's just too much. My wallet can't keep up, let alone my time.
Yeah, I'm so I can't wait till the hardware thing, the resolution thing is completely over, and we can just talk about video games again.
Crab makes a good point. Yeah. He says the hardware stuff is just played out.
Yeah, absolutely, it's totally played out. It is. I can't wait to get back to video games.
I'm glad that he came out and he mentioned it. He talked about it, because the way that certain fans were talking about it, it was kind of like, oh shit, PS5 is coming out next year or something. Yeah. It was a bit confusing and weird at the same time, because why not enjoy the system that you have right now, especially the Pro that just came out a couple months ago, still fresh. Yeah. Still new. It's probably going to go on sale this summer. I mean, not this summer, this holiday. So, enjoy that. Enjoy the games that you have right now. And it's fine. I'm glad that he pointed that out. He mentioned some things about it. And we can wait for that for another time to be talked about again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think the whole push was by the hardcore PlayStation fan base that wanted something that's going to combat the Xbox One X.
Oh, so you mean fanboys, not really
But
hardcore
why?
fan base.
But why?
Right. Well, okay. That's a nice
let's
way of putting it. Yeah,
let's
the
be clear.
fanboys.
It's fanboys.
You know, they wanted something to be at the PlayStation experience that was going to make everybody getting an Xbox One X feel like crap because they were going to have something better next year. And the fact of it is, like, you know, we don't need to be in this arms race about whose hardware is better. I mean, if that's how you want to play games, get a gaming PC and upgrade it every 6 months.
Dude, exactly. Like, if you're worried about like the resolution and all this other stuff, why aren't you on PC? Like, that's where it is.
Enjoy your Pro, enjoy your VR. That's it. Don't worry about anything else.
I'm just happy to have games that work. The systems, okay, my biggest thing when it comes to the whole hardware and everything, I know a lot of people like to make the joke that, you know, I fall asleep with hardware talk and all that, but that is because when a console comes out, it's not a PC. I don't want to have to worry about what do I need to upgrade, what do I need to do to keep my games looking amazing. That is their job. That is the company and, you know, the developers.
You just want to turn it on and play.
I want to be able to just turn it on, log in, see who's on, and go and play my games at the best settings that they're going to give me, because that is what I'm paying for. And that's why I've always just said, to me, I just want games that are not broken. I don't care what's in the system, because that's what it's built for. It's built to be able to give gamers the chance to just turn on a system and go. It is not meant to be, oh my god, do I need to upgrade this now? Wait, did this come out this month, or do I need to upgrade that? I don't want that. I don't want to have to be able to do that.
No, that's a fair point. I will say,
I agree.
Don't give them developers too much space and let them do whatever they want to. Damn it.
Well,
Man, it's a good thing
you
our
have to give them
relationships
some
don't work like
lenient, though.
consoles.
I know.
Hate to be dating a girl, and after like 6 months, you're like, hey, baby, you need some new eyebrows, or I can't deal with that face. Come on.
What's that? Your makeup's only in 4K. I need 8K makeup now, woman. Come on.
Oh my god, are you serious? No.
You guys are going die tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to some more Xbox news. Xbox exec Aaron Greenberg states there are a lot of unannounced Xbox game. So he states there's a lot of games in development. And it's a fine balance between what they show and show early and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be honest, I think that statement is a lot to do with Fable Legends and Scalebound. Yep, I think they're a little gun shy.
Yeah, so I don't think the comment should have been made in the first place. If Phil is really actually standing behind the fact that they don't want to announce games too early, us being gamers, we hear a comment like that, the first thing we think is, what's the game?
When's it going to be announced?
Yeah, when's it coming out? What is it?
What are we going to see? What is it? And
we have
now
90 podcasts that'll talk about that.
Damn.
Now
Damn, SheWulf, you have a point.
I know, right? I have a point.
But no, I didn't think of that.
But now we're all stuck wondering with all these questions, and they can't answer any of them. So once again, they put themselves back in that light of, wow, so you guys can say something, but you can't deliver. Now, I know that's not the case that Microsoft is trying to get at, and I know that's not what Aaron's trying to get at, but that is what is...
Yeah, I think this is like a rebuttal to a lot of, like, you didn't show any new first-party games, which I'm going to be honest, their E3 conference, that was one thing that I said. I was like, where's the new first-party game and stuff like that. So they have to make these statements because of that, because people call them out on it. I understand,
but
yes, I agree with you.
Don't the other side
don't
too.
say this shit. Like, just don't bring it up unless you're ready to show it. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Don't show it if you're not ready to deliver, especially now that everybody's waiting for Gamescom to be like, oh my god, are we going to see something
I know.
And they're
I hope that we can see it.
They are going to get flack if it's not
and
there.
in a way, now that you opened your mouth, bro, you have to deliver, so you better show one or two, because if not, you're going to get some shit after that. So that kind of sucks. It's like a good thing and a bad thing at once.
Don't imply something unless you can obviously back it up with something. Like, there had to be something that you could have at least backed it up with, but you, like, they can't say anything.
And I want to be fair too, like, Sony's Sean Layden also came out and made statements similar to this too, because he was kind of dinged for like showing the same stuff he showed over, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I get that, but, you know, we don't want to show things too far out because of, you know,
oh, now you don't want to show them.
Wait,
okay. Okay, sure.
Can I
I mean, that's
ask,
a fair point though. Like,
can I ask,
a lot of the
God
backlash.
of War? When is Spider-Man's release date? Like,
next year.
Yeah, okay.
Probably holiday or something.
They said early 2018.
Yeah, and
We'll see.
Uncharted 4 had an early release date and then got pushed back 4 times.
I'm not like saying like
true.
what he's saying is good or anything like that. But I think he's also getting the backlash of that too, and they're making like safe statements and stuff like that now. I just want to be fair on both sides.
I think they both shouldn't have said anything on both sides.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I think they should have just left.
She's like, they both need to shut up.
Yeah, they shut their mouths.
I swear, some of these people, like high people on Twitter, they just love to tweet things without thinking. Like, seriously, just stop for a minute. Like,
I understand if they're excited because they're like, oh my god, I can't wait to show the fans something. But just wait, okay? At least wait a month before Gamescom, and then be like, hey, I hope you guys are looking forward to the new stuff we're gonna show. Because by then you'll know if it's gonna be on the show floor. By that time you should know. But right now you don't know. It's not even ready yet.
Here's my prediction for Gamescom. You're going to see exactly what you've seen at E3, people.
No,
Oh
I think you're gonna see a couple of
That's
new
not what he
things from
said.
both sides. That's not what
Well,
he said.
So here's my thought on it. I feel like at E3, Microsoft had a point to prove, which was that their new hardware was going to be the best place for all games.
Yes.
Not just first-party games, but third-party games. And I think that was something that they really wanted to get that message across. And I think they succeeded at that. We'll see in a couple of months when the hardware actually releases. But they sold me on it. Hopefully they sold a lot of other people on it. But in the end, we know that there's more first-party games development. Like, what do we think? That 343 has been on a vacation ever since Halo 5 came out? Like, come on. Like, obviously, they're making something right now.
Yeah.
But
Same
who
with
knows
Naughty
what
Dog and all them guys.
Right.
Yeah.
But what is the average development cycle right now with games going up to 4K and having all these 4K assets? We don't know how long it's taking them to get these games finalized. So maybe it's better that we don't see it in a raw form. Remember a couple of years ago when they had the Gears of War 4 alpha and everybody was like, oh, I don't know about this game.
It was a true alpha. It was a true alpha. Or beta, or whatever it was.
I didn't say that.
Would they want to show that off at E3? No, they want it to get more closer to completion. And
yeah, true.
I like what Microsoft is doing where they're not showing us the vertical slice. They're not showing us the CGI renderings and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to show us real gameplay. So I respect that. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, our patience will pay off in the long run because we know there's going to be more first-party games coming out. And whether they show them to us at Gamescom or if we don't see them until E3 next year, I'm all right with that because there's still going to be tons of other games. It's not always the first-party games that are the games I'm playing year-round. I'm playing third-party games most of the time. First-party games, they're a small piece of the pie.
Yeah, they're the niche piece.
Yeah. I completely agree. They showed so many great games on the stage that I kind of forgot about, specific games and first-party. And then I thought about it later on, like, oh, yeah, they didn't, but they showed so much. How would they even fit it in there?
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
sometimes
because Phil Spencer came out and said that their Gamescom wasn't going to have the same games as E3. So,
but sometimes you just got to listen to your audience too. Like what for media and stuff. E3 this year, we heard a lot of disgruntled Xbox fans, and it might be partly because other fans push the narrative, like, games we've had this game, and this game in the last couple of months. What do you guys got coming out besides this game, and this game? Like sometimes when you're looking at that, you might if you got something big coming down the pipe, like throw a bone. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo threw a big bone for a lot of fans by just saying, "Hey, Metroid Prime is in development. We have no idea when it's coming out," but it restores your faith in the company. Maybe like, okay, we know it's coming out. That's awesome, because there are people that are literally so naive, so they're so eager to jump ship. You know what I mean? Like they fluctuate. They get a bit of bad news for like the PlayStation. They want to get rid of their PS4, and next week, oh, my Xbox is crap, and I got to go get rid of that. You know what I mean? They go back and forth like the wind, based on every little piece of news that they hear. So I don't see nothing wrong with it, even if you don't always have you don't have to give away everything, but sometimes depending on what you're hearing, you might want to just say, guys, we got a surprise. Here it is. It is coming. No dates, but it's coming. You know what I mean? But I think it's safe to say we know Halo's going to come. We know at some point we're going to get another Gears game. You're going to get your staple games. They can't afford to give up on them, but that's what I think Microsoft did really well this year with so many new IPs, so many new properties was amazing to see. And again, knowing that they're closer, that they're closer to coming out than not. Whereas Sony stuff we've seen now 2 years in a row, and some of those games still didn't even have a date on them, which is exciting as it is. You start going, Ah,
Yeah.
that's like a big tease, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta keep waiting.
Oh, everybody in chat's hilarious.
Waiting on greatness.
I mean, if we see those games again next year and they still don't have a date on them, we're all going to be like, "What the?"
No. I'm
So
gonna
Hud
be
Zero
like,
in
I'm done.
the Hud Zero in the chat. Yeah, I totally agree, man. If they don't say anything or they do anything, it's like a catch-22 with them. Like absolutely, like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. You're right, absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on. We'll do
Sad
one more
time.
topic and then we'll get into Foxy Deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered standalone PS4 release confirmed. It's out.
All I gotta say is $40.
$40. So
What
It's
the
out.
heck? Come on.
Only on PlayStation. Say what?
yeah,
How dare you?
so the game was previously available on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare if you bought the special edition. Now you can buy it physically or digitally for a whopping $40. They're also having a celebration for the Modern Warfare Remaster standalone launch. You can do a whole bunch of kind of cool stuff, doing giveaways and all those kind of cool things. My question is, like what Mike stated, holy shit, $40.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the standalone remaster doesn't come with the DLC that they released. So
I don't think so.
I don't think
yeah,
so
so
either.
you get the standalone for $40. It's a remaster, and it doesn't even come with the DLC that the remaster. Like, it's just like, come
Yeah.
on, Activision.
And if you bought the game like with the Infinite Warfare, literally it was only a $20 more. So why are they not selling it for $20?
Especially
You know,
when you
Activision.
can actually go and buy this game on sale for like $30 half the time now.
If it included all the new remastered DLC and everything, like if it just had like the complete, like everything that you need for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 remastered, then that's a little bit, like still $40 is a lot for a game that came out like what
Last year?
Was that like? Well, no, the original was like what
2007.
Oh yeah, 2007.
It's a 10-year-old game that's been remastered, and you're not even going to give me the freaking DLC for $40.
Seriously? Hold on. Seriously? It's Activision. Are we surprised?
No, we're not surprised,
No,
but like we
not at
always
all.
bring this up
That's
when
why
we
I'm
talk about
smiling.
Activision.
But the thing that, like, we all guessed this. Everybody guessed that this game was going to be between $40 to $60. Heck, I think a lot of us actually thought it was going to be $60 at launch. I'm more questioning why it's only on PlayStation, is what I'm more about.
'Cause
Like,
they have the
marketing.
marketing.
I know they have the marketing
Yep.
rights, but so is it only a timed? Like, has
We don't
it
know.
been
Yes.
confirmed?
Yeah,
It's been
yeah,
confirmed?
it has. Yes, that
Yeah.
it will be coming to other platforms at a later date, but they
So
haven't
probably
said
30
when.
days.
No, probably a year.
Oh
I'd say like a
damn,
year.
SheWulf, that's
Dang.
hard.
Why
I
not?
give it
Why
3
not?
months.
Destiny finally
Yeah.
just gets it in September.
I'd say 30
Ouch.
days to 3 months. Yeah, is going to be in that range.
I don't know.
I think-
like, the price is
I think it
dumb.
sucks with. I think it sucks with the price. Obviously, we're not surprised though. But come on, 40, and you're not giving me DLC, so I agree with you guys on that. Obviously, also, I'm not gonna get it on PlayStation, so I'm gonna wait. And then by the time Xbox gets it, PlayStation's gonna have it on sale, and I'm like, oh my god, do
I
you guys
know.
not want me to buy your shit? I mean, seriously, I'm still waiting because I knew this is gonna come out standalone. I knew it. I just thought it was
I
gonna
don't
be
have
a
this
bit
dilemma
sooner.
because
Actually,
I paid the
I
80
thought it
bucks and I got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
cool,
DLC.
but like.
Yeah, I got all the deals.
But Fox, you
It's
can just
cool,
go
but, like,
buy
nobody
Infinite
plays it, to be
Warfare.
honest.
But you could just go
Yeah, I
buy
mean, that's
Infinite
fair.
Warfare, and you can get both of
I-
them for cheaper.
yeah, but like
I
even at
understand, but
this
I don't want that.
at this like point in time, like I really don't even see buying it. Like the next Call of Duty is going to be out in just a couple of months. Like
And if they
Yeah,
go
that
back
was
to the
also
roots
boots on the
that
ground.
everybody is thinking that it is, that's going to be
Yeah.
like outstanding. for
SheWulf
everyone
knows.
anyways.
She
Yeah.
knows. I might
Yeah.
pick this new one up. She knows.
I'm being
It might be
forced
cheaper
to
to
get
go
the new
on
one,
360
just for anybody's
You're being
information.
forced to
I'm
go
being
buy it.
forced.
Oh, what the heck?
Well, yeah,
GKB.
because
Yeah, and you know
GKB's
what?
buying it, so I'm forced to have it.
you don't have to have it.
That's not a bad thing, girl. That's
Yes,
free
it-
for you.
Do you know what such
I can
this
only-
game is?
Oh,
She wants another Advanced Warfare.
I
want
know,
my Advanced
I know.
Warfare.
What were you gonna say, Newf?
That's because I can only say what you guys have already said. And look, I have no issues with them making the standalone game. We kind of figured it was coming out. As far as the price, well, yeah, it seems a bit steep. I'm not even a big like, to me, the price isn't what turns me off so much as knowing, again, that they're going to charge you for the DLC. To,
I
like,
know,
if it's
dude. I know.
edition, everything should be freaking included. I can't even believe the people that bought Infinite Warfare like still had to buy the map packs for the old game. It's like, what
Yeah.
the? What are you thinking? Like, and the
it should have
thing
been in the
is,
game. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and we're and you know what bothers me most? We're gamers and we're all here complaining about this. And I'm thinking, like, what are like How does this go around in the boardroom when they decide we're going to pull this game out and we're just going to literally leech our fans? Like, are we just that gullible? Are we stupid? Which point is it? And people will go out and they're going to buy the shit out of this game again. And Activision is sitting there going,
yeah, they're laughing all the way in the back.
It's brutal. Like, it bothers me.
What's worse, the fact that the people in the boardroom came up with this decision to do this, or the fact that they're going to do this and people are going to freaking buy it?
Oh, I know, dude. It's
both at the same time.
You know, that's why I stopped my statement of I'm not buying Call of Duty anymore, because I can't even say that anymore. Like,
yeah,
because I'm gonna buy it.
We know the truth.
I'm gonna buy it.
Dude, if I went to a car dealership to buy my freaking car tomorrow, and the guy said, "Yeah, I'll sell you the car, but you got to pay extra for the tires now," you'd look at the guy and say, "You are an idiot, and you're gonna go out of business." I don't know why in the video game world it just keeps sliding over people. Like, what is wrong with people? You know what I mean? Like, take a lesson from Halo, man. They give people the whole freaking thing for no extra charge. It was crazy.
Because it's the name.
Yeah.
It goes back to esports and all of that stuff. They, you know, big content creators that most people watch, they all play these games, so people want to try to play with them. They want to be the next big, you know,
MLG star.
Yeah. So, and that's why I think that's why, and plus I think it still goes back to the roots of the shooter. And I think people are just so hooked on the fact that this was one of, like, I guess, the first real shooters brought to the consoles. Yeah. So that, no matter what, sticks with people. So every time one comes out, it is. And every time one comes out, everyone's like, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. It has to be better. They buy it, and then it's not really better to what
Infinite
they
Warfare's
think.
campaign was awesome, though.
It was. But, like, I just mean, like, in general to what people think.
True.
So then, you know, they sit there and they wait for the next one and hope the same. Like, I think it just goes back to the whole original Call of Duty and why they still continue to buy these games.
Activision, fix your shit.
Hey, I got a secret for everyone. If you wait until after the Call of Duty World War II comes out, I bet you'll be able to get that Infinite Warfare version with the Call of Duty 4 remaster, the $80 version, on a Black Friday sale for like $40. Save your money and wait for that.
Probably.
Well, yeah, most of these games releasing in the fall, just wait till Black Friday, and chances are you'll get all of them probably about like 20 to like 30% off.
Cool.
Yeah, you're completely right, and I'm gonna wait because in a way, Call of Duty, especially Modern Warfare, COD 4, whatever you want to call it, it was a big part of my life and how I got really into gaming, and I was in a clan and all that good stuff. So I will be picking it up later on a sale or something. But I am one of those people that you were describing, and I'm not going to fall for their stuff. So obviously I'm going to wait, and you guys got to stay strong and do it too. Unless you really, really are looking forward to the game and you really enjoy COD, then go ahead and pick it up. Obviously, I'm not going to like crush all over your dreams, but for me, it has gotten to the point where I make fun of it. I say call it poopy. I say all that for a reason because I've been there from the start. I started on Call of Duty 3, so I know like all the stuff they've gone through and all the changes they've made. And I'm just not into the new style. But hopefully this next game is good enough for me to pick up, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing that disturbs me with Destiny. You know what? The tech side of Destiny, that stuff doesn't bother me that much, to be honest with you. Like, it's their call. Whatever they want to do, you know, the whole 4K BS stuff, right? Like, but to me, that's secondary. The stuff that kind of bothers me in advance with Destiny 2, and I probably will buy the game because I know a lot of you guys are, and I enjoyed the first one, is that are we going to see the scenario again what they did with the first game, where they're going to have it all on the one disc, but most of it's locked behind a paywall till the expansion comes out? Because that stuff bothers me. Like, a lot of people bought that game like 4 times, I think, already last gen because of the different expansions and stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah. Who wants to get in some Foxy deals? I want to get in some Foxy deals.
Me!
Oh, yeah.
Roll the intro.
Hey, that's a steal. It's Foxy Deals. Hey, that's a steal. It's Foxy Deals.
All right, Foxy, what can we spend our money on? You know, you killed me last week on that freaking Foxy deals. I bought like almost all the indies that you freaking
No, he
said.
didn't.
Hey!
He only bought 3.
That's a lot.
Damn,
That's a
she
lot.
put you out there.
And
Hey, don't blame me.
What?
Not Call of Duty. Wow, I still have that in my brain. Xbox had some really great deals with indies, but this week I'm gonna share with you guys the Foxiest deals that they have right now. But first, obviously, pick up your free games, games with gold, because this is the last week. I think Friday's the last day, and then after that we'll get some new ones. But some of the games that stood out to me on deals with gold, they have some Forza DLC, VIP DLC. So with Forza 5, it's like $3, and for Forza Horizon 3, it's like $5. So pick those up. They also have some indies that are on sale again. Sorry, GKB, but I think you have these, so you'll be all right. iZombies $2, and then Overcooked is $8.50. I believe you have both of those,
Great
and you
games.
guys have videos about them, so they're pretty awesome. I believe, yes, the next game that I saw that stood out to me, especially that everybody keeps sending me messages about, Season After Fall. There's a fox in it, and it's really cute, and it's on sale for $15, so I will be picking that up. The next game that we have on here is Styx, Master of the Shadow combo with, what's it called, Shards of Darkness, and so that one is $36. So if you want to pick both of them up. If you have already the first one, the second one is on sale for $33.49 though. So that's a half off, I believe, or 70% off or something like that off the original price. And then the last thing, of course, that steals a cold is Diablo 3.
Woo.
So obviously, if you want all that goodness and get the whole collection, it's $49 for the Eternal collection.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's brand new, basically, with all that stuff. Over on the Nintendo side, though, they do have a couple little things on sale, so I'll mention Snake Pass is $12 for the Switch, and then for the 3DS and the Wii, over at the eShop, they have a lot of Sonic games on sale, so 60% off Sonic games, so check those out as well. Over on the PlayStation side, they have some amazing deals again. Last time they had an awesome flash sale, then they had like a double discount section or something, and now they have mid-year sale. So obviously, this one is gonna be for both non-members and plus members. So non-members, 40% off, and then for PS Plus members, you get 75% off, and that will last all the way until July 11th. And don't forget to also pick up your free games because they will have the new ones up next Tuesday. So yeah. And some of the games that stood out to me on there that were on sale: God of War, Grand Theft Auto 5, Far Cry 4, Journey, Madden. Obviously, one of my favorites, Ratchet & Clank, is $8, so please pick that up. It would be really fun for the family. And then they also have Diablo 3 collection as well, the Eternal collection, and that one is $39.59. Some online deals that I found for you guys. PlayStation Plus for a year is on eBay is $48. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix for the PS4 on Amazon is $34.90. That's the cheapest I've seen it so far, because last time it was like $35 or something. So that's really good. Mass Effect Andromeda also on Amazon for both systems. So on the PlayStation is $49.82, and on the Xbox One is $37. I do have more deals for you guys, but I'll be sharing those on Discord and Twitter. And if you guys have your own that you want to share with me, tweet them at me at LadyFoxFire. Back to you guys.
Sweet. Awesome Foxy deals.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into some more Nintendo.
Oh no. It's all good. Bring it on. Bring it on.
So there was a ton of rumors about the SNES Mini and all this other kind of stuff, and that's actually what the topic was, because I made these like last week before the news dropped that it's actually confirmed that the SNES Mini is a thing. But this guy went to like GameStop, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I think that's going to be a thing." He was asking all these managers and like confirmed it basically. But now it is a thing. The SNES Mini is confirmed. It's coming out September 29th. 21 games at a whopping $80. But that $80 also is going to include 2 controllers this time, and we found out that the cords are actually going to be a little bit longer. That's going to be interesting. Hey,
I mean, I couldn't
2
find
inches
an
a little bit
NES Mini,
longer. We still got to wait, bro.
Yeah.
Did you have
I'll
to
tell you what's.
buy the extenders, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's Nintendo, though. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, what was super exciting about the SNES announcement that it's coming out is Star Fox 2, an unreleased SNES game that is finally releasing, here on this mini console. That in and of itself, like, even if the SNES Mini wasn't like by itself just awesome and gonna sell out, like having an unreleased game that people wanted. I mean, maybe not everybody, but I wanted that when I was a kid. And now the chance to maybe go and play that as an adult, like, I mean, makes me want to take time off work so I can go wait in line and buy an $80 SNES Mini instead of downloading a cheap ROM or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through the games. So we got 21 games. We got Contra 3, Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, fantastic RPG, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby, 2 Kirby games, Superstar and Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, another fantastic RPG, Star Fox 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Castlevania 4, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, and Yoshi's Island. My only one thing, like, they could have done better with the Super Mario, because on the SNES they had that collection which had like all the Nintendos, the Super Nintendo Marios and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why they didn't do that instead of just Super Mario World. Like, you could have got them all on the SNES in just one spot. Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like, I'm gonna go out there and already say that yes, I'm going to buy this because I bought the NES Classic.
Well,
I am worried.
I'm going to be stuck standing in line waiting.
Well, that's the next thing.
Poor
Is like,
SheWulf.
how many? All right, so Nintendo will come out and say there's going to be more than the NES Classic, but that's not really saying much. And then it's only going for like 3 months from September to like December is like the sale window that they're going to have these things. We don't know if anything's going to be pushed after that.
And
I mean, the NES Classic did go for a little while.
How many stores?
Yes, how many stores? How many is going to be in each store? Like 5, 4?
Yes.
I'm telling you, they're only going to have like 10 or 15 at GameStop.
So
Yeah, so, I mean, that's craziness. So, yeah, look for the eBay deals of $600 when they go on.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
No, the other one sold for like I saw one go
thousands,
for
yeah.
like $10,000.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucking insane.
I mean, I like Nintendo, but not that much.
yeah, but Nintendo should be like freaking jumping on that board. Like, if you don't want to freaking put out more of your crap, then like, well, I'm not gonna say crap. I'm sorry.
Do you
I
think-
actually do like their systems, but if they're like, they should just put it on freaking eBay and sell them. Like, everyone's gonna buy them.
I have an issue with this. And I get that they're putting another controller in, but I got to go out there and on a limb and being like, it's probably the same hardware that was in the NES Classic, right? They're adding just
probably.
another controller in there, and I got to pay $20 for less games.
I was gonna say it's less games.
Like-
so
I know
Yeah.
why they put another controller there, because not only Street Fighter and Mario Kart, you could play those together, but
Super Mario World.
last time when people were trying to get a hold of the extra controller with the system, they were having problems with that. And a lot of people wanted to have an extra controller, and they
yeah.
noticed that,
Yeah.
so
those kind
they
of
had to
games
include
you
it.
tend to play with friends, like,
Yeah.
or
I think-
family,
Yeah.
or
I think just like the NES Classic, I think the Super NES is going to get hacked too, so you could put like 800 ROMs
Oh,
on the damn thing.
of
Probably.
course.
Yeah.
Which is going to
I
make it
mean,
fantastic, but go ahead.
Here's the positives. You get one of the most revered and beloved consoles of all time. You know, basically in the palm of your hand. It has HDMI on it, which is nice. Makes the games a little bit crisper and work with your brand new TV. Thank Jumpins, they got the extensions on the cords a little bit longer because the other one was really short, like the shortest controller cord
I think they
I've
were,
ever
like-
seen in my life.
I think they're 3 foot, and the new ones are going to be like 5. So
Yeah, I bought a 12-foot extension cord at EB Games that work with it just fine, so that was fantastic. And like the collection of games that are on it, even though there's 21 you said, the majority of them are like first-class games. They're games that you
Yeah,
really want to play.
true.
I mean, just went back and played my NES Classic the other day, and I got to it's my fond memory of the NES Classic. 8-bit games, to me, the majority of them are not what I remember them to be. Like, they're either bad or they're just like, oh, they're super hard because there's so much latency in the controls of the old 8-bit games. Like, you have to jump at a certain time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like they're frustrating. I like it. It's a good idea. Putting a second controller in the box is like, that's going to be so much better for parents instead of having to track down an extra one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For the
Um,
price
yeah, I
wise,
think
Sanjabot makes a
overall-
really good point. He brings up the fact that he bought a Wii U for like 2 games. We literally buy the Switch that has like hardly any games right now, and we did buy the Wii U. I literally wanted it for only 1 game. So to pay $80 for something that has more, like,
Here's my rebuttal. I can play all the Super NES ROMs I want to for free on my computer.
yeah, and you made that perfectly clear that you'd be a pirate.
Yes. I'm just saying. I don't need to pay $80 to play that. But I
you
have
can
to
play
pay.
them legally to play it.
Yes, I get that point. I'm just
and
saying.
you can hook it up to your TV.
I'm just saying the rebuttal is you technically.
No, that's a lame rebuttal.
It's not
Yeah,
lame.
no, fuck that. I want a physical thing that I could
Oh
have
my God, the
instead of
physical.
just some digital make-believe games. No, thank you.
And where's
And
Chrono
it's
Trigger?
It's easier.
Like,
Oh my god, I was gonna bring that up.
yeah, where's
Dude,
Chrono
it's not
Trigger?
in there.
The greatest
Like, that's
RPG.
one of the biggest. Yeah.
well, go yell at
Especially for that
Nintendo.
system.
That's their fault.
No, I think it's just a licensing thing, honestly, but because it's Square Enix. but
That should have been in there.
I agree. That
No,
should have been
they're really good with Square Enix, from what I know.
Yeah.
Like,
but
why not?
I don't
So
know
then why?
They have
the
Final
NES?
Fantasy in there.
Then
Because
why?
nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and I just want the thing because it
Yeah.
looks cool.
True. Very true. Collectors, also collectors.
I'm just saying the difference between the Switch and this is Switch is new hardware. I can't emulate and or get my ROMs onto my PC for free and play those games.
In
Whereas
other
I could
words,
for
GKB
like these.
just likes to take the little money we have and spend on every little system that comes out because he really
dang.
wants
Yeah, because it's my
them.
fault. She's not a gamer or anything. She doesn't play video games.
No, I hate games. What are we talking about?
What the? What the?
You stop it right now.
Get her off this
This
podcast.
conversation is over.
Wait, what kind of podcast? I thought we were on like a girls and makeup podcast. What is this?
No, that's a gaming den apparently. So
Oh,
Girl, you
right,
crazy.
right. Correct. I forgot, Fox. Thank you.
Girl, you crazy.
welcome.
All right, so yeah, Super NES Mini. I'm
So,
getting it. Everybody's getting it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not happy about the price. In a way, I still feel like it should have been the same price because obviously we have less games, but whatever. I probably still would pick this up because I do care about Nintendo, even though they're not my favorite. Obviously, I'm going to get more Sega things than Nintendo things, but I remember these games, and I do want to play that Star Fox.
I think you're just simply paying more because there's two controllers. 'Cause
Yeah.
that controller to buy for
Yeah.
the NES Classic was like I think $40 or $50 on its own.
Wow.
So you're pretty much
I
just
don't-
paying for a second
On
controller.
eBay? Because I don't think that's how much
No, I
it
don't
was in the
mean-
store.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty
don't
sure it
think s-
was.
I thought
Hey,
it was
I've
like
got an old
20
NES
or
controller, I'll
30.
send you.
Well, even $30, like you're still 60, and then
Yes, yes,
30
I
more
understand.
dollars, then you're
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they have longer
Yeah,
cords.
The other point, too, guys, is, look how much you'd pay for those individual games on the Nintendo stores. They're much more expensive. The fact that you can get them all in the Mini, is better value. You know what I mean? So overall, it's not bad. All considering, you know what I mean?
It's all about
Yeah, I
perspective.
mean, yeah, it's all.
Also, they should put
Talented.
limited edition on the box just because they don't make as many and these are
Yes.
fucking rare. They should put limited, offer
Yes.
limited
Oh my
time, limited
They
edition.
would go even
Yeah.
faster if they did that.
I mean, at least you know, hey, that's why I didn't get one because
that's true.
it was limited time.
Well, a
You know
lot of
what I
people
mean?
don't get them too because people go in there and buy like 15 of them too. The fuckers.
Assholes.
Hopefully they don't discontinue it in 6 months for the
Yeah.
N64 Mini.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I don't know, bro. Don't hold your breath.
Did you have any questions, Newf? Did you find any questions? I don't know.
If there was, they must have been way up near the top of the chat somewhere because I couldn't find any. I even bolded out the questions here, so I don't have anything ready. Unfortunately, no.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So we're pretty much done with the topics for the most part, without getting too crazy. So I just want to reiterate, guys, that the Console Corner is MP3 format going forward. It'll be up usually within 24 hours after we are live on YouTube. You can find that on sites like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify will be here soon, probably in the next day or two. It'll be on there. I just wanted to reiterate that to everyone because everybody's been asking me and hounding me, please, can you get it on these things? So, I get the whole
Yes.
data caps and all that kind of cool stuff. And Foxy
it's-
was super happy about Google Play Music. She was like super
Yes.
stoked.
So was my fam. So I'm happy about that. So to everybody who does use those things, enjoy. I hope
Absolutely.
it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you for
And
listening.
We're going to go ahead and close up the shop. I'm going to let all these awesome people shout out the cool things we got going on. SheWulf and I will be streaming right after this on Mixer. We're going to be playing some Diablo, gearing up our Necros, and all that kind of cool stuff. So what do you got going on, Foxy?
Oh, I have a giveaway going on right now on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go and check out that last video I did and you want to be eligible for the gift card I'm giving away, go ahead and check out the video and leave a comment. And I will be announcing the winner tomorrow.
Nice.
But besides that, I'm on Mixer. Check out all the links and stuff in the description. I'm on Twitter, so if you want to talk to me about Foxy Deals or anything else, I'm on Twitter. So yeah, just Lady Foxfire on there. And I can't wait, and I'm looking forward to next week because we're starting a new podcast. And
Oh, yeah.
I hope that you all tune in and check us out. and show us some love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for rocking out with us. I want to say a big thanks to the community, and you always support us every week, and thank you. SheWulf.
So, of course, you can find me on Mixer at xSHEWULFx. We'll be streaming with GKB, and I do stream during the week with Fox, sometimes with, it's just myself, but I do stream on Mixer quite a bit from Monday to Friday, so make sure you guys check that out. Follow on Twitter because you can always find out everything I'm doing there. And yes, like Fox said, we have the Gaming Den coming to you guys July 3rd at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. So it's an afternoon show, and we got a lot of cool new stuff for you guys that it's not going to be your normal podcast. So I hope you guys are excited and tune in with us.
Cool. What about you, Newf?
Same old, man. Still trying to plug through the backlog, guys. Again, all the links and stuff are down below here on the videos. So I appreciate the follow, the loves, the support. I will probably get back to streaming some more games a little bit later on. I might fire up Wolfenstein again, see if I can complete the last few chapters. All that good stuff, guys. Again, thanks so much for all your support, for hanging out in the chat. For those who catch us on all the new available platforms, that is fantastic. But that's it for me. Have yourself a great day, morning, evening, all that good stuff.
Sweet. Magic Mike.
Hey, everybody. Just like Newf was saying, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. All you people listening to the replay, thanks for listening to us. Hope that you continue to listen to us on all the future episodes. Can't wait to see SheWulf and Fox's Gaming Den podcast on Monday. I'm really excited for that, and I think everybody else should be. Yeah, other than that, I mean, what I got going on, I'm just going to be, plugging away at that backlog, like Newf said. I've got an inkling to play some more Shadow of Mordor if I might be able to port my save file over. So,
Yeah,
hey,
right.
maybe you'll catch me on my Mixer streaming some Shadow of Mordor. It's Magic Mike 83 on Mixer, Magic Mike 83 on Twitter, and you can find a link to my YouTube channel below. Don't put a ton of content up on there, but the content I do have is very high quality, I think. So check it out.
Nice.
I just want to quickly add for
can't go back?
anyone. Well, no, it's actually to everybody who is actually listening on any of the MP3 format sites. Make sure you guys come and support us here on YouTube as well, because hey, your likes and views all help out the channel. So if you guys are listening to us on this other spot, come check us out on YouTube at Gamers Knows Best.
Yep. I am the Governor. You can find me at Gamers Knows Best on YouTube and Twitter. Thank you again, everybody, so much for rocking out with us. Always great to see the chat going off in there. You guys are fantastic. Love you. Our dog's going crazy because
Every time I say bye, he knows it's like...
He's like, it's time to go
Oh,
outside.
he's so cute.
I just say a word and he knows.
Thank you so much, guys, and we will see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Bye.
Bye.
Haters.
Bye.